What's up, YouTube? It's Forever Breathe. Today I'm going behind the scenes of my new business, Phoenician Candle Company, and showing you exactly how I make my candles from start to finish. So if you're interested in getting a little background on that, just keep on watching. So the first thing you want to do is kind of get your workspace all set up. So I have candle jars, a wax melter, a scale, my hot glue gun. This is how I measure the fluid ounces of fragrance. My cutting board, I cut my wax on it, as well as cut my die blocks. A couple stirrers, a nice big knife, some backup glue sticks, wicks, more jars, your wax. This is almost a complete 40-pound wax block, but it has a little bit that I use for another fleet. Pours. I like to have about 5 pours at a time because it allows me to do a few different fragrances at a time. Wick sticks and a bunch more containers. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is cut our wax into servings of 3 pounds until we fill the wax melter up to 15 pounds. So I'm going to measure out 3 pounds of wax. So that's roughly 3 pounds. And I'm going to keep creating 3 pounds of wax and putting them in the wax melter until I have 15 pounds in the wax melter. Okay, this is about 15 pounds of wax. So we're just gonna put the lid on like we're cooking some stew or something and let it heat and completely melt the wax down to a complete liquid. While the wax is melting, I like to go ahead and wick all my jars. So what you're gonna need is a candle wick, your jar, and a nice hot high level glue gun. You literally just, actually, I'm missing a little device I use. 1 second, please. Okay, all this is all this is a pin that I unscrewed and took the actual writing piece out, and I just have the shell, but I use it to help me wick my candles because I slide the wick through the pin case, then I put a dab of glue on there, kind of spin it so the glue doesn't make that little string. There we go. And then tap it into the bottom of the wick jar, and then proceed over and over again. All right, now we have wicked all 5 dozen jars. And just in time, all the wax has melted. It looks like, oh, there's a wick in there. I'll get it at the end, it's okay. But yep, all the wax is completely melted and liquefied, so it's ready to pour. Okay, so now I'm going to pour the wax into the pouring pot.
Yeah. Out. And I can't make it. Can't show.
Next, I'm gonna pour the exact amount of fragrance I want to go in each pot. And then I'm gonna stir it for about 30 seconds. Sometimes I add color to it, and then I just drop the color dye in there. And again, just swirl it around to make it whatever color it is I want. It gets real dark in the pot, but after it settles in the container and then cools, I usually get a really light color of whatever it is I'm trying to achieve. All right, and right before it's time to pour, you take a wick stick and you just kind of place it over the jar and stick the wick between the little slit, and that is going to allow us to keep the wick straight up out the candle and keep it in place so that we can pour. All right, I'm gonna go and place a wick stick on the rest of the 5 dozen candles, and I'll be back. All right, it's time to pour the first pot. Just take the thermometer out. And the first couple are a little shaky because the pot's so full, but as you get them out of there, it eases up. If I'm being lazy, sometimes I put it's okay. That's why I put the newspaper as a drop cloth. But if I'm being lazy, I'll put the wicks in second, which as long as you do it pretty soon, within like the first 2-3 minutes of pouring it, you'll be fine. And you won't mess up your wax because it's so hot still that it's just moving the wax as it is when it's a liquid. When I get messy like this though, I have to clean it up on the back end. Okay, so all of the candles have been poured. Now all we have to do is wait and let them solidify and then cut the wicks. We'll be back. And here we are, just a few hours later. They're completely cooled. Well, if you actually touch them, they actually feel a little warm, but they're cool enough to where they're solid. And I was able to cut the wick. I just used a really strong pair of scissors, like kitchen scissors, to cut the wick. Little things like this, I'll go around with like a paper towel and wipe the edge. All right, YouTubers, if you're still here with me, then you watched exactly how I make my famous Phoenician candles. Here we have the finished product. The blue is Black Sea. The yellow is Pineapple Sage. There's a green one here. That's Honeydew Melon. And then I also have the white one over there that is Pina Colada Paradise. If you're interested in getting any of these candles, please visit my website. Link is in the description box where you can order these and have them shipped out to your home. So thanks guys for watching, and subscribe, like this, hit me with some comments, and stick with me so that you can see more videos. Thanks.